Have you ever gone to bed feeling guilty? Not because you were busy all day, but because you spent the whole day avoiding the one thing you knew you should have done. You kept telling yourself, "I'll start in 5 minutes. Let me finish this one video first. I'll feel more motivated after lunch. I'll start tomorrow." But tomorrow somehow keeps becoming another tomorrow. And the strange part is, you actually wanted to do the task. You knew it was important. You knew delaying it would only make things worse. So why didn't you just start? If you've ever asked yourself that question, this video is for you. Because what you're experiencing probably isn't laziness. In fact, psychology suggests your brain may be doing exactly what it was designed to do. Most people think procrastination is a time management problem. But psychology explains it differently. Research suggests that procrastination is often an emotion regulation problem rather than a time management problem. In simple words, we usually don't avoid tasks because we don't know how to manage our time. We avoid tasks because we want to avoid the uncomfortable feelings they create. Think about the last thing you procrastinated. Maybe it was studying for an exam, starting a work project, going to the gym, replying to an important email, or making a difficult phone call. Ask yourself this: were you really avoiding the task? Or were you avoiding the feeling that came with it? Maybe you were afraid of failing. Maybe you didn't know where to begin. Maybe the task felt boring. Or maybe you wanted everything to be perfect before you even started. Here's what most people don't realize. The moment you decide, "I'll do it later," your brain feels a little better. The anxiety drops. The pressure disappears, at least for a moment. That temporary relief acts like a reward. Your brain learns, "When I avoid this task, I feel better." And the next time you face a similar task, it repeats the same strategy. That's how procrastination slowly becomes a habit. But that's only half the story. Psychologists have found another reason why our brains love the word later. It's called temporal discounting. Don't worry about the name. The idea is actually very simple. Your brain naturally values rewards you can get right now more than rewards you'll receive in the future. Watching another episode feels better right now than finishing a report that's due next week. Scrolling through social media feels more rewarding than exercising for benefits you'll notice months later. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage your future. It's simply choosing what feels rewarding in the present. Now think about this. Have you ever said, "I'll start when I know exactly what to do"? Or, "It has to be perfect"? That's perfectionism. Ironically, perfectionism doesn't always make people work harder. Sometimes it stops them from starting at all. Fear of failure can have the same effect. If you never begin, you never risk making mistakes. Your brain mistakes avoidance for protection. Other times, procrastination happens because the task feels too big, too complicated, or there are simply too many decisions to make. Stress and anxiety can make this cycle even stronger. It's also important to remember that procrastination exists on a spectrum. Almost everyone procrastinates occasionally. But if it becomes a regular pattern that affects your work, relationships, or well-being, it's worth paying attention to. Research has linked chronic procrastination with higher stress and poorer well-being. It can also occur alongside conditions such as anxiety, depression, or ADHD. But procrastination by itself doesn't mean someone has any of these conditions. There isn't one single cause, and there isn't one solution that works for everyone. The good news is that small changes can make a big difference. Instead of telling yourself, "I have to finish this entire project," tell yourself, "I'm just going to work on it for 5 minutes." Getting started is often the hardest part. Once you begin, continuing usually becomes much easier. Another helpful strategy is to make starting easier. Leave your book on your desk. Open your laptop before your work session. Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Reduce the effort it takes to begin. Psychologists also recommend something called an implementation intention. It simply means deciding in advance exactly when and where you'll do a task. For example, if it's 7 o'clock, I'll spend 20 minutes working on my assignment. Instead of waiting to feel motivated, you follow a plan. Tools like time blocking or the Pomodoro technique can also make overwhelming tasks feel much more manageable. And finally, stop believing that being hard on yourself will make you more productive. Research suggests that self-compassion often helps people recover from setbacks more effectively than constant self-criticism. Progress, not perfection, is what moves you forward. So the next time your brain whispers, "I'll do it later," pause for a moment and ask yourself, am I avoiding the task, or am I avoiding the feeling that comes with it? That one question can completely change the way you understand procrastination. Because procrastination isn't always about laziness. Sometimes it's your brain trying to protect you from discomfort in the only way it knows. And once you understand that, you can stop fighting your brain and start working with it. If you found yourself relating to today's video, let me know in the comments. What's one task you've been putting off, and what do you think you've really been avoiding? If you enjoy learning the psychology behind everyday behaviors, subscribe to PsychologyClicks for more evidence-based insights into the human mind. Because understanding your mind is the first step toward changing it.